With the release of the recent patch, there is now an extra synergy level for Aquatic. So now you can go up to Aquatic 8, which now sends in a Surfer Pikachu that will fight for your team. So I'll be trying out an Aquatic team this game, as I breeze through the PvE rounds. And into the Carousel round, which I eventually picked up a hard skill. Moving on to the add picks, here I saw I have a chance to add a Scrub, and there are two other dragon units that are also aquatic with Dratini and Gumi. In the second add pick, I added Wooper, which is also an aquatic unit, and I picked up a second aquatic unit in Dratini. After some rolling, I managed to find a Surge Kit and a Sphere, which gets me to Aquatic 4. And after barely clutching the win, we head into the unique carousel. Luckily, there was a portal that was heading straight towards me with an aquatic symbol. And here I get the option for Cramorant, which I always find really funny in action, watching it occasionally spitting out Pikachus. As a backline unit, I gave it an upgrade and a Mana Scarf, which allows him to generate more PP to constantly shoot out those Arrokudas and Pikachus. For his first fight against this ice team, its first two casts immediately shot out two Pikachus, which I thought was pretty lucky. And now moving on to the add pick selection, I added Clampo, which is also an aquatic unit, which now enables Aquatic 6. I also made a muscle band to give it to the Dratini as a frontliner. When fighting against this fire team, they were pretty stacked in evolutions, somehow getting a Crocodile at stage 11, so it was a clear loss. Then for the carousel, this is the newly updated Xatu carousel, where it gives you a treasure box containing 2 item components. And from that, the 2 item components that I got were Black Glasses and Magnet, to which I made a Wonder Box to give to the Dratini as well. Now when facing this fighting team, the start was looking honestly pretty good, with Cramorant spitting out Pikachus and Arrokudas left and right. But this Hitmonlee had stacked items with insane lifesteal. Even with Cramorant constantly spitting out those Arrokudas and Pikachus, the Hitmonlee prevailed and defeated my entire team. I finally got back the Scrub and also got a Gumi. With Dratini are the 3 dragon aquatic units that I needed, so I immediately replaced the other units to activate 3 dragon as well. Time to face this bug poison team. The fight was looking pretty concerning at the start, but with Flying 2, my Cramorant managed to fly away when it was low health, allowing it to cast one last time, instantly wiping out 3 units. Now with the Tentacool that I found in the shop, adding it into the team will give me 3 poison. Additional cheat damage is always good. Now to fight this PvE round, I got a Mystic Water and Never Melt Ice. With that, I made a Polkadot and Muscle Band to put onto the Gumi, which is a pretty decent frontline unit. As you can see, my team is severely lacking in evolutions, which is why I was frantically rolling the shop, but sadly I did not manage to hit any of my evolutions. So on to the next fight. Against this Sound team, it was a long drawn out fight. It was looking pretty close even with their second aquatic wave. But in the end, the Cramorant could not handle a 1v3. And finally, I hit my first evolution in the game with Tentacruel. And yeah, that's all I did for this round, so into the next fight we go. Here I faced this weird Dragon Gourmet team, and I also noticed that he was severely lacking with evolutions too, so I managed to easily win this battle. For the Carousel round, noticing that I was severely lacking in damage as well, so I took the Twister Spoon to make a Soul Deal to put onto my Cramorant. While rolling the shop, I also managed to evolve my Dratini into a Dragonette, which is a much better frontline. Now my Cramorant is fully kitted out with scaling items for attack speed, PP and AP generation, so I spent all my money into XP to try to level up. When fighting this ice team, you can clearly see the impact of that Soul Deal, as Cramorant's ability can hit enemies adjacent to its target, so it immediately decimated half of the team with just a single cast. Here I continue to allocate more gold into my XP as we face the legendary duo PvE round, and since there were even item components, it gave me a full item, which was a wonder box. In the legendary carousel, honestly I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get my aquatic portal because of the delay at the start, but thankfully there was still one remaining. The initial game plan was to get Volcanion and give it my Cramorant items, but instead I was given the option of Lugia. So I had no choice but to cut my losses and to stick with the Cramorant as my main damage dealer for now, until I can get a Sobble or Drizzle. The first battle after the legendary carousel was against this stacked fire teams with a lot of decent evolutions. Thankfully, the Ho-Oh still only has a mana scarf, so it is still unable to completely wipe my entire team in a single cast. Here to fight that fighting team again, and the start of it was looking pretty even. Just look at all the Pikachus that is being spat out by the Cramorant. But even with multiple aquatic waves, that new legendary managed to hold on with 14 HP, bringing an unfortunate loss. The next carousel turned into a Synergy Stone carousel, so I decided to roll my shop as I was sitting at quite a low health. And while rolling, I managed to hit my first Sobble and 2 Dittos, immediately giving me a Drizzle. So now I can safely sell the Cramorant to repurpose his items onto the Drizzle. But even so, my legendary Lugia still isn't holding any items, so I eventually sold the Goomy and gave the Lugia the Pokédoll and Muscle Band, and replacing it with the Shellos, which I then gave it the Wonder Box that I got way back in the Ho-Oh and Lugia PvE round. So now my team is looking a lot more solid, with decent front lines and back lines with insane items. Even facing this bug team with multiple final evolution is no match for my aquatic team. While rolling the shop, I managed to add back a Goomy into my team. I also decided to replace the Surge Kit with a Horsey, activating Tree Water, which will generate more PP for the Drizzle, allowing it to cast more often. As the next fight was about to start, I rolled into a Solosis, which would fit perfectly into my team with its Psychic and Amorphous synergies. This next fight is against an Ice Amorphous team, but with my constant aquatic waves, my units are cleansed from the Frozen status, preventing them from being stun locked. Seeing as this round is a PvE round, I'm gonna lock my shop once again, retaining the interest gain. For the item rewards, instead of going for my third Wonder Box, I opt for a Green Orb to help me sustain my team until the aquatic wave hits. And now I can finally buy the Solosis, and a few rolls later, a second Solosis appeared, so it is now a Duosion. And with that, I finally activated 2 Psychic and 3 Amorphous, giving more AP to the Lugia and additional speed and HP for the entire team. With my fully kitted out team, time to fight this fighting team that I lost to both times. With a lot of back and forth, my team eventually outscales the fighting team, eliminating him from the game. I am now in a top 3 situation with Vertical Aquatic, something I never thought I would say or achieve before this new patch. And after a little bit of repositioning, time to fight the normal Sound team. Here you can see why I placed my Drizzle in that specific position, which allows it to snipe diagonally into the enemy's backlines. That way, it can hit more units and do more damage. At the end of that fight, my Drizzle alone managed to deal 1300 damage, doing pretty good carrying the team. So now it's the final 2 players remaining, and I noticed that he lost to my Ghost too, so the match was looking rather promising. I went for yet another Green Orb just for the extra sustain, which I put onto my Duosion that is surrounded by my front line and back lines, maximizing the healing it can give. And after some repositioning from my end, we head into the second last fight of the match. The Ho-Oh now has a Mana Scarf, Choice Specs, and Aquatic, so it casted almost immediately, but thankfully it did not manage to wipe my entire team. After fighting the Wild Beast PvE round, I was given the option between the Choice Specs, Green Orb, and a Dawnstone, but for some reason, instead of 100 bonus AP or team-wide healing, I somehow picked the Dawnstone. But swiftly moving past that, here is the final battle. This was honestly bad positioning on my part that allowed the Ho-Oh to immediately cast and kill off my Lugia within seconds of the battle, leaving my Drizzle to solo carry this fight. And thankfully, he still managed to clutch up and bring me the win. So that is a Vertical Aquatic win added to our collection. And that will be all for this video. Thank you for watching.